Alright guys, this is Johnny, live from my mother's basement. I'm a little bit pissed. Has nothing to do with politics, so don't worry. But I've been trying to sit here and create a collage video with different pictures and shit, and it's just not working. My Windows movie editor is being a whore. And so I'm just going to go down this list really quickly. All the explanation that I had typed out and everything is lost. The Windows movie files, they got corrupted somehow. I don't know. The whole damn thing is just obnoxious to me, and I hate how this computer technology stuff is supposed to be, you know, top notch, but it can't even save pictures and text into a moving animated thing without causing an issue. So the concept of this video was something that I sent out to a few channels on YouTube and a few personalities on Facebook. And essentially this is a project for the YWC and the IWC to get a conversation going about who they feel are the top, well, I asked people who they thought were the top 10, but you know me, I went above and beyond, and I came up with who I thought were the top 20. What the official title I wanted to use was most important or impressive world champions in the history of professional wrestling. So that was kind of a big, broad, you know, amount of time, and I really thought I had put together a solid list, and I had some really good reasoning behind it, but now it's lost and gone forever. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go into this program and see what is still left, and I'll just tell you who's who, because even like when I was putting together this list, I didn't have everybody written down yet. I was just going and surfing pictures and putting it all together into the video itself, and it's a mess. So I'll try to do this quickly so that you don't waste time, and then you guys can comment, you know, and see if you disagree, agree, who you think should be higher, lower, doesn't matter. Now granted, for the top 20 that I did here, I didn't rank them in any specific order. I don't really feel that I can. And I really think that popular opinion would dictate it, and I really feel like I'm way too biased to do so. But before I get into that, I want to do an honorable mention first of some people that I had considered that didn't make my final list. And I believe there's 9 of these guys, so let me just kind of... Alright, up first on the honorable mention is Vader. I don't need to say any more than that, do I? Mark Henry, Dusty Rhodes, American Dream, Batista, the Animal, Harley Race, Sting, Mick Foley, The Rock. Yeah, I was surprised he didn't make it to the top also, but there was reasoning behind that that since is lost and gone forever, and I really don't have time to get into it right now. But Goldberg, yeah, I know, you guys are probably all thinking, what a lame list. He didn't make it, so don't worry about it. And as much as it really pains me to see this guy, this is my favorite wrestler, by the way. The Macho Man Randy Savage didn't make my top cut. So, obviously, this was supposed to be like, you know, really impactful or important world champions to the history of the belt, to the history of having a world championship, to, you know, different aspects of the time that maybe they became champion, or how long they held the championship, or who they were as a wrestler and a performer. And Macho Man is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, period, but a lot of that time he spent without the title belt too, so you got to keep that in mind. But here's the list. Here are 20 or so folks that I think I have some of them written down. Let me start with that, and I'll see who I missed. I'm going to go down the list here, and you guys feel free to interject at any point, even though I won't be able to hear you because it's a video. and tell me what you think. I'll count down from 20 to 1. That'll probably help me keep track of where I am. 20 was Buddy Rogers. I guess because he was kind of the biggest star in the early television era that wrestling was on. 19 would be Dory Funk Jr. And I had things for these guys, little bios, but they're all gone. So I just, off the top of my head, you know, he was just so talented. He could get in there with anybody. 18 would be Jerry the King Lawler. Held together that Memphis territory, has held multiple titles, amazing. Number 17, Thesz, unified 4 different titles. It's a pretty big deal. One of the big 3 world champions at the time. Number 16 is Frank Gotch, retired champion after 4 years, very early on in the history of the sport. Number 15, Georg Hackenschmidt, the original best in the world, mind you. He was a strong man, and he beat all comers, became the first recognized world's champion. Number 14, Bruno Sammartino. He had the longest title reign in the history of the sport. I don't think anybody would probably ever beat him. Not with the consumer addicted, you know, have to see him every day, every week on TV like we have now. And mind you, this isn't ranked according to popularity or power or anything like that. This is just helping me count down here 20 different people who I think deserve to be known as the most important or impressive world champions. Number 13, The Undertaker, arguably the best big man in the sport of the history. Number 12, Mr. Bob Backlund. Weird thing about him is that in one promotion they were bitching that they couldn't get him to, you know, really draw a dime, and he didn't have what it took to be champion, and they traded him to another territory. Lo and behold, they put the belt on him, and he has a fucking phenomenal run. So I guess it's really all on how you book the person. Number 11, CM Punk. Love him or hate him, he's had a long title reign. He's kind of trying to make the belt credible again. Even if his gimmick is kind of right now. Number 10, Rey Mysterio Jr. He proved that size didn't matter. He's the smallest person to ever win the World Heavyweight title, but that doesn't mean that he didn't wrestle his heart out to get there, and he's still having good matches. Number 9, oh shit, Nick Bockwinkel. He really made it cool to be the bad guy. Just educated, kind of sounding promos and stuff. Number 8, I don't personally like this guy, but he deserves to be on the list, I think, is Triple H. In an era where they really needed to have some stability, he held the title, the World Heavyweight Championship, the big gold belt, essentially, on the SmackDown brand for a long time. Whether or not he was fucking the boss's daughter, and that's why, it's kind of irrelevant, because it's just, he had, you know, some decent matches and really kept it together then. Number 7 is Booker T. Has held championships in WCW and WWE. Kind of proved that hard work equals success no matter what your skin color is. Number 6, Ron Simmons. First black champion of professional wrestling, recognized anyway, in the WCW. Back in '92, I nearly crapped my pants when this happened. I was watching and I was like, yes! I was very excited. Number 5, Ric Flair, just synonymous with wrestling. I don't really think I need to explain that. I can't really remember the next one. Number 4, I think it was Kurt Angle. Legitimate wrestler. Won a gold medal. Kind of legitimized the sport by bringing him in and putting him to the top. Leaves me at number 3. I'm going to go with Chris Jericho. Just, you know, small guy, big talent. People, you know, in other companies didn't want to push him to the top. He switched companies and bam, main eventer ever since. Number 2, Hulk Hogan. He's Hulk Hogan. And number 1, Stone Cold Steve Austin. If we hadn't had the Attitude Era, I probably wouldn't be sitting here making a video talking to you guys. It's probably went on a lot longer than I anticipated, but it's about half as short as I normally go, so I'm proud of that. If you guys have any questions, concerns, complaints, comments, whatever, leave them down below. Let me know. Thank you for adding to the conversation here. This video is just meant to be a conversation starter. You know, realistically, the list should be in your own guys' mind. You should all have a list that's near and dear to your heart, but I think it's something that eventually we can all agree on. So, take care, and I'll see you next time.